Chapter 324. Sweet little angels Liline. This relationship, Sun Jiaoyang had indeed put in more effort than Li Mo. Moreover, she also believed that the one who fell in love first must be the loser. Even if she was bright and moving, she smiled brightly at Li Mo. In front of others, she was generous and confident, but in this relationship, she felt inferior. And this was also the first time Li Mo had fallen in love. He was also a newbie. There were also many things that were not handled well in relationships. In the end, Li Mo was still too young, but he could not deny his sincerity in dating Sun Jiaoyang at that time. When Sun Jiaoyang was pursuing Li Mo, she thought that as long as he could fall in love with her, she would not care about anything else. But a little girl. And she was even a young lady who had been pampered since she was young, even if she might always be so rational and not ask for anything in return. After Sun Jiaoyang got it, she became more and more greedy and dissatisfied. She began to care about her gains and losses in this relationship. At the same time, her heart became more and more uncomfortable. Sun Jiaoyang was a dignified young lady. In order to not only put down her airs, she did many things that she would never do. She had gone through a lot of trouble to move him. Before Li Mo accepted her, Sun Jiaoyang enjoyed it and thought it was sweet. But after becoming Li Mo's girlfriend, Sun Jiaoyang felt that it was not worth it for herself. What kind of boyfriend didn't hold his girlfriend in the palm of his hand? Why was Li Mo not warm enough to her? Not to mention that there were many girls who couldn't compare to her at all. Why didn't she have this treatment? Sun Jiaoyang wanted to make Li Mo regret it. She wanted to let Li Mo know that she could not live without him. Moreover, her childhood sweetheart, who was plotting against her, was sowing discord between them. In a fit of anger, Sun Jiaoyang impulsively told Li Mo that she wanted to break up with him and go abroad. In fact, after going abroad, Sun Jiaoyang's mind calmed down and she regretted it. However, for the sake of her pride, she couldn't bring herself to go back to China to look for Li Mo. Sun Jiaoyang thought that as long as Li Mo chased after her, she would go back with him. However, she waited and waited, but Li Mo still did not come. This made Sun Jiaoyang disheartened. In her heart, she had truly broken up with Li Mo. She would still try to get in touch with other boys. After Li Mo, Sun Jiaoyang also dated a few other men, all of whom had good looks and abilities. However, Sun Jiaoyang realized that he could never forget Li Mo, until she received a phone call from Xianghua, which gave Sun Jiaoyang an excuse to return to China. Because of this phone call, Sun Jiaoyang returned to China 5 years earlier than in the plot. After Xianghua hung up the phone, she let out a deep breath at the dark night outside the window. She didn't know whether what she did was right or wrong, but she knew very well that she didn't want to watch Li Mo and Lin wanting be together. In particular, Li Mo and she were getting closer and closer, and the two of them were even engaged. Xianghua saw the rings on Li Mo and Lin Wanting's hands, so she couldn't help but investigate them. After knowing the existence of Sun Jiaoyang, she immediately took action. Speaking of which, Xianghua knew Sun Jiaoyang. After all, they were both rich young ladies and they were in the same circle. However, they were often compared to each other. In fact, they didn't really get along. But now, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. There was still a long time before the holiday. After Li Mo and 001 got engaged, they were forbidden to contact each other for a period of time. Seeing Li Mo's fierce posture at the engagement party, Father Lin and Mother Lin were worried that he would do something out of line after the engagement. Lin Wanting was still young, and they were still studying. It would be bad if anything happened at this time. After all, 001 had become his fiancée. Li Mo didn't want to offend his father-in-law too much. Even if they couldn't meet each other, Li Mo and 001 could still call each other and video call each other. At the beginning, Li Mo was really happy. He just wanted to see 001 to relieve his longing and see if she was okay. Li Mo would video call 001 every night and whisper his love words to her, which made him very happy. However, in the end it was a little different. Because one day, when 001 just came out of the shower to video call Li Mo, the water drops on her body were not dried, and her nightdress hung loosely on her body. Not only was she exposed, but she was also wet and seductive. This made Li Mo, who was peeping at the other side of the video, very excited. Liam couldn't help but think back to that time in the school dormitory. He almost had a nosebleed again. This made Liam's breathing become rapid, and his body couldn't help but have a reaction. Looking at 001 in the video, Liam quietly put his hands under his body, and his face became redder and redder. Liam's eyes became misty, and he almost couldn't help moaning. "Baby, take off your clothes, okay?" Liam coaxed 001. Even the young man, who was like an ink painting, was no different from other men at this time. 001 carefully looked at Liam in the video. According to the data she scanned, she naturally knew what Liam was doing. But since she was his fiancée, 001 felt that she had the obligation to help him in this aspect. Therefore, she took off her clothes in front of Liam in the video and followed his instructions. Although he couldn't actually touch 001, it was also interesting, which made Liam very excited both mentally and physically. Until Liam stopped panting, he couldn't wait to hug 001 and kiss her hard, but she was on the other side of the video. Liam reached out and touched the screen of his mobile phone reluctantly, as if he was stroking 001. He still had some lust left in him. His lustful eyes stared deeply at 001. Even his words seemed to carry a burning desire. "Baby, I love you." Liam bowed his head and kissed the figure of 001 on the mobile phone, but his words were so sincere. Even if 001 didn't understand feelings, she couldn't help feeling a little shocked at this time. However, at this time, Liam's ears were red, and his eyes were a little evasive. "Wan, put on your clothes, don't catch a cold." It was very difficult for Liam to say these words. This time, his shyness was obvious. Liam didn't expect that he would be so bold. It seemed that men were really lustful. Ever since that time, things like this had happened frequently, allowing Liam to quench his thirst for 001. Until Father Lin and Mother Lin stopped stopping him, Liam immediately took 001 to the beach to play. At this time, Sun Jiaoyang also returned to China, and she went directly to Liam's residence. All the things to play on the beach were prepared by Liam, including 001's swimsuit. When 001 came out, Liam looked very calm. He took her hand and walked forward. Although he had seen what he should and shouldn't have seen, it didn't mean that 001's appearance was not attractive to him. In fact, Liam was just pretending to be calm on the surface. He held 001's wrist with blue veins. He had to endure it. 001 was very calm. As soon as Liam showed abnormalities, she scanned his body data. His hormone secretion is too strong, and his male hormones are also very active. To put it simply, he is in heat and wants to have sex with you, right? 001 confirmed error statement. Yes, but the reproduction method on planet Araga is different from that on Earth. So, you can let Liam do it. It's a good opportunity to see it. 001 felt that what Error said made sense, so she let Liam do what he wanted and didn't resist. This made Liam even more excited, and he couldn't help but tighten his grip on 001's hand. However, he had to restrain himself with difficulty because he couldn't bear to hurt Lin wanting. Liam took a deep breath. He couldn't help but lean down and kiss 001. His lips were hot, and 001's pink lips couldn't help but tremble slightly. However, this stimulated Liam even more, making him kiss her more tightly, not letting her escape. The ambiguous and loud wet sound rang in the room, making Liam's heart hotter and hotter. The impulse surged in his body. Liam hooked 001's small tongue, not letting go of any part of her small mouth. Obviously, Liam was very inexperienced before, but now he was very skilled at teasing 001. Liam swallowed the sweet saliva that belonged to 001, and then passed his own into her small mouth. In the past, he couldn't understand the overly intimate behavior of exchanging liquids, but now it made his heart throb. There was even a lot of liquid that 001 didn't have time to swallow, and it overflowed along the corners of her lips. This made Liam's kiss gentle, and he lovingly licked all the water stains on the corners of her lips. When he was aroused, his body that was holding 001 moved unconsciously, and he fell on her big bed with her. Lee Mo couldn't help but let out a muffled groan because of the sudden intimate contact with her soft body. He was reluctant to let go of 001, so he hugged her even more tightly and kept kissing her. Chapter 325. The Cute Little Angels. Lee la la la. That's right, you've become smarter after coming to Earth. This is indeed a good place. Therefore, when he was in cram school, Lee Mo felt like the back of his head was about to be on fire. 001 only did what Lin Wanting had done earlier and kept staring at Lee Mo. It was obvious that a shy and reserved lady was staring at her sweetheart's gaze. It was different from 001's stare, but 001 couldn't feel the difference. Lee Mo couldn't ignore 001's gaze, so he turned to look at 001 and asked lightly, "Classmate Lin, what's the matter?" "Nothing," 001 said without hesitation. Then she thought for a moment and realized that she had to emphasize one thing, so she quickly said, "I don't like you." Lee Mo. Lee Mo looked at 001's eyes with a speechless expression. His expression also became complicated. 001 didn't know that there was such a thing in this world as trying to cover it up made it even more obvious. Lee Mo had never been a person who paid too much attention to girls. Other than his previous girlfriend, Sun Jiaoyang, this was the only one he knew more about. Although Lin Wanting had been sitting behind him, neither of them were warm and talkative people, so they didn't talk much. Lee Mo's impression of Lin Wanting was also that she had a good personality and good grades as a study commissary. She had a good relationship with all her classmates. He would often hear others talking about her, but Lee Mo didn't care. However, looking at Lin Wanting like this, Lee Mo suddenly remembered what his mother had said to him this morning. "Amo, a cute and beautiful girl sent you back last night, but I promised her that I wouldn't say it. You're so smart, you should understand, right? You should have thought it through, right?" Mrs. Lee looked at Lee Mo and said meaningfully. Lee Mo couldn't help but be stunned. How could he have thought of Lin Wanting? With her personality, how could she have gone to a bar? Even just now. Lee Mo felt that he seemed to be aware of her different feelings towards him, but he did not suspect her. However, it still left a mark in Lee Mo's heart. Lee Mo pursed his lips and turned around. On the other hand, 001 and Error heaved a sigh of relief. They even felt that they were very smart. I have to look at you in a whole new light. You've done really well. It looks like we can complete the mission very well." 001 nodded and said happily, "Yes, it looks easier than I thought." When the class was over, Lee Mo and his friends were talking about entrepreneurship. 001 was still standing not far away and staring at him. Her eyes were hard to ignore. Lee Mo's friends all patted him on the shoulder jokingly. Their meaning was self-evident. The situation made them think that Lin Wanting liked Lee Mo. Lee Mo frowned. He didn't like them to treat their feelings in such a frivolous way. But Lee Mo knew that they didn't have any bad intentions, so he didn't say much. However, Lee Mo's mind was troubled by a girl other than Sun Jiaoyang, which was rare. Lin Wanting didn't confess to him. He could ignore her and keep a distance from her. However, Lee Mo felt that it was too difficult to ignore someone like Lin Wanting because her love for him was too obvious. Later, when Lee Mo went to the toilet, Lin Wanting still followed him, which really made Lee Mo unable to bear it. Why did Lee Mo know that the person behind him was Lin Wanting without turning around? That was because he had become familiar with her gaze. How scary was that? Lee Mo was a cold person, although it made his handsome face even more charming. He often dressed simply, and his black and white was a classic. Lee Mo was indeed a veritable flower on a high mountain. He was far more mature and calm than his peers, except when he faced Sun Jiaoyang occasionally with a faint smile like the blooming flowers in spring. This kind of Lee Mo was very rational. He almost never lost his composure for anything, except when Sun Jiaoyang left him. However, at this time, Lee Mo's face was very bad, almost showing anger. "What do you want to do?" Lee Mo almost said to Lin Wanting through gritted teeth. Lee Mo grabbed Lin Wanting and restrained her against the wall of the corridor. Lee Mo was very careful not to use too much strength. He would not hurt Lin Wanting, and he would not let himself touch her too much. Almost at the moment when Li Mo moved, 001 reacted. She instinctively wanted to throw Li Mo away. However, at this time, 001 thought of the weak body of an earthling. If she really resisted, it was estimated that Li Mo would become a mass of meat sauce. 001 thought that with the attack power of an earthling, it would not cause any harm to her body, so she let it go. Li Mo's angry eyes met 001's clear and clean eyes. There was no emotion in them, not even surprise or shyness. On the surface, 001 still looked as gentle and calm as Lin Wanting usually, which was the form that 001 most often imitated. Looking at 001 like this, Li Mo's mood calmed down. He realized that he was impulsive. He would not usually be like this. This was not like his usual self. It was really Lin Wanting's eyes that made him panic. In the past, he would not care about other people's opinions. However, Lin Wanting was simply different from others. After hearing Li Mo's question, 001 was slightly stunned. This was not what she had expected. But she quickly reacted and replied, "I'm looking at you." Lin Wanting's voice was as soft as ever. Even her face was very gentle, but it made Li Mo feel helpless. However, suddenly, Li Mo's expression froze. He was close to Lin Wanting, and he could clearly smell the fragrance on her body, which he had just smelled last night. Although Li Mo was drunk and unconscious at that time, he could feel that he had fallen into a fragrant embrace. It smelled very good, which made him more relaxed and fall asleep. Even now, Li Mo could still remember the faint fragrance that lingered at the tip of his nose. Thus, when his mother said those words, he felt an indescribable strangeness in his heart. At this time, Li Mo looked at 001 in surprise and doubt. Was the person who sent him back last night really her? Li Mo directly asked 001, "Did you send me home last night?" 001's eyes widened uncontrollably. How could he know? However, she quickly retorted, "It wasn't me." However, Li Mo, who had been paying attention to 001, had already seen her expression just now. He already knew in his heart. Li Mo quickly let go of 001. He turned around and did not look at her. He said lightly, "Don't follow me anymore." After all, Lin Wanting had not confessed to him, and Li Mo could not refuse her. But he thought that with Lin Wanting's temperament, she will not come to him again in the future if he treats her so coldly. Although 001 really wanted to complete the task, since Li Mo said so, she would go back. After all, 001 always remembered that she was secretly in love with him. Since Li Mo had found out, there was no need to continue. 001 turned around and left so simply, which made Li Mo a little confused for a while. At this time, he actually felt that Lin Wanting was very obedient and a little cute. Handsome Li Mo Shui quickly forgot about this thought. As soon as she saw that the person was Li Mo, she clicked on it casually. "Li Mo, what's the matter?" Lin Wanting's voice was as soft as ever, which made Li Mo's ears move slightly. He had to admit that when he was waiting for Lin Wanting, he was unconsciously nervous. He hadn't had a video call with Lin Wanting yet. This perspective was very strange, but Lin Wanting's voice eased this feeling very well. Li Mo calmed his tumbling mood and told her what Mama Li had told him. This made the smile on 001's face widen. She said in surprise, "That's great. Thank Andy for me." Hearing Lin Wanting's words and looking at her expression, Li Mo's lips unconsciously showed a smile. Therefore, his words became softer. "Wait a minute. I still have some here. I'll show them to you. Which flavor do you like?" When Li Mo left, 001 took off her clothes and began to change into pajamas. When Li Mo re-entered the video interface, the first thing he saw was a small, delicate and fair waist, and even more beautiful and alluring scenery above it. The phone in Li Mo's hand fell immediately, making a loud noise, which was heard by other students in the dormitory. And Li Mo's nose finally couldn't help bleeding. He quickly covered his nose. Although Li Mo was fast enough, a few drops still fell on his quilt, showing a dazzling bright red color. Li Mo was completely stunned, and her mind was completely filled with the scene she had just seen. After changing her clothes, 001 looked at the black video in confusion. Why did Lee Mo suddenly hang up? After Lee Mo came to her senses, he hurriedly covered his phone. He was afraid that others would see such a pornographic scene. Chapter 326. Sweet little angels. Lee family's parents were very open-minded. Lin Wanting was also very good. They were happy to see this happen. However, it was never easy to marry someone else's daughter, so Mr. Lee and Mama Lee both encouraged and supported Lee Mo. Father Lin and Mother Lin weren't unreasonable people. Their daughter had grown up, and it was indeed time for her to fall in love. They were just worried that she didn't know how to protect herself and would get hurt. When Lee Mo came to the door with a gift, they did not make things difficult for him. Uncle, Auntie, I am Wan's boyfriend. Lee Mo formally introduced himself to his father Lin and mother Lin. His every movement was elegant and courteous. He naturally wanted to leave a good impression on his future parents-in-law. Yes, in Lee Mo's heart, that was how he believed in 001. A verbal promise. Father Lin and Mother Lin wouldn't believe him, and there was no need for them to talk too much. However, when he saw Lee Mo's sincere attitude and sincere eyes, he felt that it was a pity. Therefore, they could only observe in secret for now. Let them look everywhere. Lee Mo was well aware of this. He wanted to use his actions to prove himself to Lin Wanting's parents. Lin Wanting's parents allowed Lee Mo to go upstairs to see her. At this time, 001 was in his bedroom. Lee Mo gently opened the door and quietly walked in. He hugged her from behind. You heartless little brat. You didn't even give me a call? Lee Mo held 001's waist tightly with his hands. But he couldn't help but bury his face deep into her neck, gently rubbing against it, taking in a deep breath of the fragrance that belonged to her. Lee Mo didn't expect that falling in love would make him become like this. However, the person who was troubled and tossing and turning was indeed him. The one who caused him to become like this was the girl in his arms. 001 was not scared by Lee Mo. He knew that Lee Mo was here as soon as he appeared. Therefore, 001 was very comfortable in Lee Mo's arms, which obviously pleased him. He couldn't help but tighten his grip on 001, and he couldn't help but plant a kiss on 001's fair and beautiful neck. Lee Mo had long noticed 001's delicate and beautiful neck. Every time he hugged her, it would appear under his nose to seduce him. This time, Lee Mo finally couldn't hold back and gently kissed it. This made 001 feel a little itchy. She couldn't help but hide, but it made Lee Mo laugh with her and want a foot after taking an inch. Lee Mo rubbed against her intimately and smiled. Did you miss me? Lee Mo found that once he fell in love, he was no different from other boys. He even seemed to be more clingy. Of course, 001 wouldn't call Lee Mo for no reason. She couldn't care less about the sweetness in love. 001 turned her head from Lee Mo's arms to look at him. Her usually cold face was completely soft at this time, and her eyes became gentle. Lee Mo rubbed the tip of 001's nose intimately, and his low and seductive voice sounded in her ear. 001's heart didn't fluctuate at all, which should have made the girl in his arms blush and her heart beat faster. When I think of you, you appear. 001 took Lee Mo's hand. Her lowered eyebrows and soft voice all brought out a graceful gentleness that was admirable. This made Lee Mo's heart palpitate, and the feeling of admiration poured out like running water. He looked at her. She was in his arms and in front of his eyes, which made his heart itch. However, in the end, Lee Mo just restrained himself and kissed 001's forehead. He chuckled and said, "Well, you pass." It was true that Lee Mo missed 001, and he was slightly dissatisfied with her. She didn't seem to be in love at all, which was also true. However, those emotions disappeared in 001's soft words. On the contrary, Lee Mo was seduced by 001. Lee Mo let go of 001 reluctantly, took her hand, and looked around her boudoir. This was the first time that Lee Mo had appeared in a girl's room, and it was his girlfriend, which made Lee Mo's heart feel a little strange. The decoration here was delicate and soft, just like the person Lin wanting. In particular, it was full of the fragrance of Lin wanting, which made him completely occupied and made his heart become moist and soft. Liamo couldn't help holding 001's hand tightly. He suddenly had a desire in his heart. He wanted his smell to fill this room, and he wanted his things to invade the territory of Lin wanting. In fact, this was just a male's possessiveness. He wanted to mark his own partner. What did you do at home alone during the holidays? Liamo turned around and reached out to gently pull the hair on 001's cheek behind her ear. 001 looked up and could see the young man's tender and sweet eyes, which was very intoxicating. The atmosphere in the room was just right, soft and warm. 001 raised his hand and handed a book to Liamo. I'm reading this. Liamo took it and raised his eyebrows. Shakespeare? This made Liamo's heart ripple, and he couldn't help but smile happily. Are you going to write a love poem for me? Liamo looked at 001 playfully. Perhaps all boys had this kind of bad taste to bully the girl they liked. 001 just wanted to make herself feel more in love. She also wanted to know a little about this, so she read this book under Error's suggestion. Do you want it? 001 asked calmly. If Liamo wanted it, she could satisfy him. After all, a good girlfriend should satisfy her boyfriend's requirements. Liamo couldn't help but be slightly startled. The voice fell gently on his heart, but it could bring a tickle. If I say yes, will you write it for me? 001 nodded without hesitation, which made Liamo couldn't help but chuckle happily. When I think of my beloved, my heart is filled with boundless wealth. For the sake of my love for you, I will fight against time with all my might. Liamo stared at 001 with his affectionate eyes, and his gentle voice read 2 sentences from Shakespeare's sonnets to her. 001 looked up at him, which made Liamo's heart tremble, and turbulent feelings hit him like a wave. However, Liamo's face looked very calm, but his eyes were slightly dark and deep. If thinking of me makes you sad, I'd rather forget, and be in your sweet thoughts. Liamo approached 001 step by step, and his mouth continued to recite the heart-tugging love poem. Liamo's breathing became more and more rapid, and his eyes were locked on 001. He couldn't suppress his desire anymore, which urged him to get closer to Lin wanting. Liamo's hand gently stroked 001's arm, along her smooth and delicate skin, until he held her shoulder tightly. Glass shards fell from her body, without leaving a trace. It was like hitting a stone with an egg. Of course, the egg was the wine bottle, and the stone was 001. 001 blinked her eyes, wondering why this kind of thing could be life-threatening to Earthlings. 001 calmly reached out and removed the broken glass from her head and body, but she was unscathed. The drunkard was shocked awake. How is this possible? His lips trembled, and he looked at 001 as if he was looking at a monster. 001 also noticed the abnormality at this time. It turned out that the physical fitness of Earthlings was so different from that of planet Araga. She should have thought of this earlier. At this time, the idea that Earthlings were weak and needed to be taken care of, or else they would die easily, was deeply rooted in 001's heart. What if someone finds out? Even if 001 was not smart, it was the most basic thing to do not expose her identity during the mission. Don't worry, I have deleted all their memories, and they won't find anything unusual. 001 was relieved and walked toward Liamo. The people of Araga did not have a specific face, they only had a huge shape. Therefore, since the mission this time was to replace Lin wanting, 001 scanned her behavior pattern and appearance. It was not difficult to complete an external copy. Liamo was drunk and unconscious, which was different from what Lin wanting remembered. However, 001 and Air thought it was not a big deal. After all, they saved Liamo's life. Their next task was to send Liamo home. Since Liamo could no longer leave, 001 directly picked Liamo up and walked out of the bar. With Lin wanting's memory, 001 and Air both knew where Liamo's home was. They walked directly to his door. They were not familiar with the business of driving a car. Planet Araga's soldiers could walk more than 10 kilometers. At the door of Liamo's house, 001 rang the doorbell. This was what she learned from Lin Wanting's memory. Human civilization was indeed advanced. 001 put Li Mo down and helped him up, waiting for the person inside to come out and open the door. The person who came out was Li Mo's mother. Li Mo and Lin Wanting's family background was similar. His father was a university professor. His mother was also a teacher. Li Mo was influenced by his parents since he was a child. Chapter 327. Sweet Little Angels Leela. However, Li Mo looked at Lin Wanting, who was in his arms, and did not move for a long time. His brows were tightly furrowed. He thought that the other party was injured and not feeling well. "What's wrong with you? Did you sprain your ankle?" Li Mo's words startled 001. She let out a soft hum, "That's good," so that she wouldn't have to think of any reasons. Lin Wanting did look very weak. Li Mo did not doubt him. Therefore, he carried 001 horizontally and walked to a rock at the side to put her down. This feeling was indeed very novel to 001. After all, she was the one who carried Li Mo like this last time. In the eyes of the general of planet Araga, Li Mo was the fragile creature that needed her careful care. In the end, she was treated like this by him. Li Mo squatted down in front of 001. He reached out and gently held her ankle. Li Mo hesitated for a moment. He still reached out and began to help 001 take off her shoes. He explained to her, "Don't move, I'll take a look for you." Li Mo was not used to having intimate actions with others. He also did not want to have any ambiguous actions with girls that would cause misunderstandings. But now, Lin Wanting was an injured classmate who needed help. If he still cared about these things, it would be too cold-blooded. 001 looked intently at Li Mo, who was squatting in front of her. She could only see the gentleness in his eyes at this moment. Li Mo had no distracting thoughts. He was just worried that his classmate would help her check. Lin Wanting's foot was fine. When Li Mo relaxed, he felt a gaze that could not be ignored. This was not as aggressive as when Lin Wanting was staring at him previously. This made Li Mo raise his head curiously. He happened to bump into 001's focused gaze that was staring at him in a daze. That pair of black and white eyes seemed to only have him. It made Li Mo's heart palpitate involuntarily. Li Mo suddenly lowered his head, as if he was deliberately avoiding something. "Your foot is fine. Let me help you up." With that, Li Mo put on 001's shoes and was about to help her up. 001 looked at him inquisitively. Just now, Li Mo's emotional fluctuations were a little strange. But when he met Lin Wanting's puzzled gaze, Li Mo's heart skipped a beat. He avoided her gaze again. Li Mo did not look at 001 throughout the whole process. He helped her walk to the place where the students gathered. Many female students and even male students have prepared meals. 001 went over to help them. "Li Mo, this is delicious. Try it." Li Mo's friend picked up a piece of Kung Pao chicken and put it in his bowl. Li Mo's brows furrowed slightly. Before he could say anything, a pair of chopsticks snatched the food from his bowl. Under everyone's burning gaze, 001 said gently, "He can't eat spicy food." 001 calmly ate the food she picked up from Li Mo's bowl. She thought that she was really a good alagama. Although she would not have been injured without Li Mo, she should be grateful to others for their help, so she should help him. Then, 001 smiled at Li Mo and reached out to pick up his favorite stir-fried asparagus with her chopsticks. There was no need to thank her. She did things without asking for anything in return. Li Mo looked at 001 with a complicated look in his eyes. Even the asparagus in his bowl seemed to have changed in taste. Li Mo lowered his head in silence. Finally, he picked up the asparagus and ate it. Obviously, he could not accept this in the past, and it was impossible for him to eat it. Maybe it was because the shock brought to him by Lin Wanting was so great that he forgot it. Most of the students in the cram school were in the same class as Lin Wanting and Li Mo before. Seeing this situation, they couldn't help but look at each other. They all knew that Li Mo had an ex-girlfriend, Sun Jiaoyang, who went abroad, and Li Mo could not forget her. Now their commissary in charge of studies was going to pursue Li Mo? However, Lin Wanting was as gentle and considerate as ever, which made them envious of Li Mo's luck. 001 didn't take this matter to heart at all. She had no idea what kind of ripples her actions had caused in other people's hearts. In the middle of the meal, Li Mo suddenly remembered that Lin Wanting had just finished eating the food in his bowl and picked up some for himself with those chopsticks. Then he ate it. Li Mo's mind was full of this sentence, and then he choked hard. This caused 001 to look at him sideways, and she poured him a glass of water. Seeing this, other people teased Li Mo ambiguously, and some even made a scene. This made Li Mo choke even harder. 001 really didn't notice this embarrassing atmosphere. She reached out and patted Li Mo on the back to calm him down. 001 couldn't help but sigh in her heart. Earth males were so fragile that they could hurt their bodies just by eating. It seemed that she had to be more careful with them in the future. Li Mo's ears were already burning up uncontrollably. As soon as 001 got closer, he could smell the fragrance on her body. When he recalled the feeling of touching her just now, his cheeks began to heat up uncontrollably. Li Mo had never felt so helpless before. He dodged 001 as if he was running away from something. At this time, Li Mo suddenly had a feeling that since he met Lin Wanting during the summer vacation, his life began to be out of control, and he became different from himself. 001 didn't notice anything at all. She continued to eat happily, and didn't notice that other people were looking at them more ambiguously. Li Mo felt very uncomfortable in his heart, but he could only pretend that nothing had happened. Li Mo couldn't help but steal a glance at Lin Wanting. He found that this girl, who looked like a lady from a noble family, was indeed very silly sometimes, or even in love. After the meal, someone was assigned to wash the dishes. 001 and Li Mo both went to set up tents. 001 had never done these things before, but as long as she searched for information, she could copy it and do it. However, 001 was still very keen in these aspects. She compared the strength that Lin Wanting should have and understood that she shouldn't be able to do these things by herself. It happened that Li Mo came to help the boy. Li Mo stood beside 001 without saying a word. However, Li Mo accidentally put his hand on 001's hand. Both of them stopped moving. 001 looked up at Li Mo. Why didn't he take it away? What was he waiting for? Should he take it away himself? However, Li Mo's heart couldn't calm down again. He even couldn't help clenching it. After coming to himself, Li Mo realized what he had done, which made him turn his face away in embarrassment. He felt that he couldn't face Lin Wanting's eyes, but the smooth and soft touch stayed in his heart. Li Mo felt that he couldn't respond to what Lin Wanting had done, but he made such an ambiguous gesture to her. It was his fault. Li Mo took a deep breath and forced himself to calm down and take his hand away. He didn't turn his head. He didn't know what to say to Lin Wanting. Just as he said the word, you, he heard the same voice beside him. Li Mo stopped and pretended to be calm as he said, you go first. But in fact, Li Mo's heart was beating very fast at this time. He held his breath and listened to Lin Wanting's words. The shelf over there is about to fall apart. 001 hurriedly held it up and said to Li Mo. She didn't know why Li Mo's mood suddenly became strange again. He didn't even care about the task. This once again confirmed in 001's heart that the males on the earth were strange creatures, and their minds were delicate and emotional. Li Mo. He felt that all his excitement and nervousness had been fed to a dog. Li Mo pursed his lips and blinked his eyes. He didn't seem to be in a good mood. Li Mo continued to help 001 set up the tent in silence, but he didn't say a word again. Of course, 001 didn't care. It seemed that when Li Mo left, his breath was a little gloomy. And he unconsciously looked back at 001, but 001 had a soft smile on his face. His eyes were shining and looking at the tent, and he didn't look at him at all. Li Mo. His face tensed up even more as he quickened his pace. At night, 001 was lying in the tent. She was a little excited and couldn't sleep. This was really a novel experience. However, suddenly shouted, not good. Li Mo went to the pool in the back mountain. 001 was puzzled and said, what's wrong with that? although it was very strange to go to that place at night without sleeping. You don't know, many teenagers on the earth die in the water. And have you ever heard of suicide for love? 001. 001 couldn't lie down anymore. She jumped up and ran to the back mountain. After all, this was the young man she liked so much. He was her first love that she had tried her best to pursue. In this relationship, Sun Jiaoyang did pay more than Li Mo. Moreover, she also thought that the one who fell in love first must be the loser. Even if she was beautiful and charming, smiled brightly at Li Mo, and was generous and confident in front of others, but in this relationship, she felt inferior. And Li Mo was also in love for the first time. He was also a novice, and there were many places in the relationship that he didn't handle well. Chapter 328. The Cute Little Angels. Li la la la. Yes, 001 accepts the order. 001 nodded slightly in salute to receive the things it sent out. Her voice and expression were as cold and emotionless as the machine just now. However, when she saw the contents clearly, a rare stunned expression appeared on her expressionless face. Her voice, which was firm and decisive in giving orders in battle, was also uncertain at this time. Reward 001. The journey of Earth's 7 emotions and 6 desires. What does this mean? 001 asked doubtfully. However, the voice of the machine was still monotonous. Dear General, I don't know. This is all the Marshal's order. After saying that, it disappeared. After all, it had already done what the Marshal had instructed it to do. Don't you understand? The one who spoke was the companion error of 001. Everyone on planet Araga was born with a companion artifact. Deep feelings, accompanied for life, but things were like their owners. She nodded, her eyes filled with confusion. Your compatibility is already the strongest in Araga, but on the contrary, the intelligence of the Araga people is generally not even 1/10 of that of the people on Earth. The Marshal hopes that you will go to Earth to study hard. What's more, a qualified and strongest warrior is not a killing machine. He hopes that you can have feelings. The people on Earth are the most emotional creatures. 001 was the most outstanding soldier. She would do her best to complete the mission given by the Marshal seriously, and this time was no exception. Even though 001 thought that this was the strangest and most confusing mission she had ever received, in the past, all she had to do was to annihilate the magical beasts that invaded Araga. The people of Araga were all well-developed and simple-minded. They really couldn't be compared to the cunning people of Earth. However, 001 still accepted it solemnly, just like every time she shouldered a mission. 001 landed on Earth with her companion air. She knew nothing about Earth. Quickly go invisible. The companion air quickly shouted at 001 just as it was about to land. 001 had always trusted its judgment, so she immediately opened a protective shield to protect herself. At the same time, she also prevented others from seeing her. After 001 stood firm, she suddenly felt embarrassed, although she didn't know this emotion. She was glad that she had listened to air. Otherwise, she was afraid that she would cause panic among the people on Earth. Because in the eyes of 001, the people on Earth were too small, not even the size of her finger. 001 looked down and saw a group of small insects crawling under her feet. The Araga's body size is too different from Earthlings. You have to shrink. 001 also realized that she couldn't live on Earth with her original body. However, this ratio seemed to be 1 in 1,000, and the strength of 001 would also decrease with the size of the body. But, if I become so weak on Earth, won't it be dangerous? Earthlings have developed brains, but their bodies are very weak. 1,000th of your strength is enough to deal with them. Hearing Error's words, 001 was relieved. When she became the same size as an Earthling, she removed the protective shield and looked at the planet with a curious gaze. Don't worry. I have already collected all the information on Earth. I can show it to you slowly. Now, figure out the mission requirements. As soon as they arrived on Earth, Air automatically received the information. This should have been set up by the Marshal. Many worlds on this planet have problems. We need to maintain and repair them. During this process, it will be the perfect time for you to experience the 7 emotions and 6 desires. 001. The companion error said this, but with 001's brain, there was no way for her to understand it. Then, take the world we arrived in as an example, and you will understand. Lin Wanting has had a crush on Li Mo since high school, the handsome young man in the white shirt sitting in front of her. His wise and clear eyes fell on the blackboard, listening attentively to the lesson, his cold and serious eyes solving problems, his slender white fingers on the desk holding an exercise book. All of these made Lin Wanting deeply fascinated with him. Lin Wanting came from a family of scholars. Her mother worked in the Education Bureau, and her father was a calligrapher. She had a strong scholarly aura since she was a child. She was also gentle and reserved, and her appearance was graceful. How could a girl like her easily express her feelings, not to mention at such an important moment in high school? She could only silently watch the boy sitting in front of her every day, carefully guarding this happiness. However, this balance was soon broken by a transfer student, Sun Jiang. She was a passionate and lively young lady from a rich family, and her appearance was also beautiful. From the first day she transferred, she fell in love with Li Mo. She confessed to him in front of the whole class, saying that she would definitely pursue him. At the time, Sun Jiaoyang's actions were extremely rebellious and bold. She was almost labeled as a bad student and a bad girl. However, Sun Jiaoyang's father was the CEO of the biggest group in the area. Since Sun Jiaoyang lost her mother when she was young, he spoiled her very much. He would not give her anything she wanted. He did not care about such a small thing, and even praised his daughter for having character and courage. Moreover, after Sun Jiaoyang transferred, CEO Sun became the biggest sponsor of the high school. The school could only turn a blind eye to Sun Jiaoyang's actions. From then on, Sun Jiaoyang became Li Mo's deskmate. She started to pester and chase after him every day. In the beginning, Li Mo did not react to Sun Jiaoyang's confession, which made Lin Wanting feel slightly at ease. However, at the same time, she envied and admired Sun Jiaoyang. He could be so bold and not care about how others saw him, and she could not do that. This made her heart sour. Moreover, as Sun Jiaoyang pursued Li Mo step by step, it made Lin Wanting even more nervous. This was because Li Mo had treated Sun Jiaoyang as nothing in the beginning, but later on, he no longer rejected her. He even accepted her and tolerated her. Lin Wanting had been watching Li Mo in the dark for so long. She knew his reaction like the back of her hand, which made her even more shocked. But other than feeling bitter and crying behind his back, there was nothing she could do. She could only bury her feelings in the bottom of her heart. Sun Jiaoyang was like a small sun that crashed into Li Mo. She was not afraid of his coldness and disregard. With such a sincere heart in front of him, and with her pursuing him so passionately, it's normal for Li Mo to be moved. Sun Jiaoyang's results were not good, but she was talented. She was outstanding in singing, dancing, and playing the piano. Li Mo was the class representative, Lin Wanting was the study representative, and Sun Jiaoyang was the recreational representative. In order to pursue Li Mo, Sun Jiaoyang tried her best to get close to him. Because his results were always first in the year, she found excuses to get him to tutor her. In fact, Sun Jiaoyang hated studying the most. But because of Li Mo, her results kept improving. In the end, Sun Jiaoyang and Li Mo got together. They became a couple that everyone in the class admired. Sun Jiaoyang could tell that Lin Wanting had feelings for Li Mo. Hence, she had been rejecting her. Ever since Li Mo and Sun Jiaoyang got together, Lin Wanting was very disappointed and sad. But since it had become a reality, Lin Wanting learned to let it go. She hid her feelings better. However, after they graduated from high school, Li Mo broke up with Sun Jiaoyang. This relationship was initiated by Sun Jiaoyang. She was the one who chased after Li Mo. She felt that she was the one who put in more effort in this relationship. Sun Jiaoyang was a pampered young lady. If she didn't really like Li Mo, how could she put down her pride in front of him? Before she got together with Li Mo, Sun Jiaoyang just wanted him to accept her. But after she got together with Li Mo and became his girlfriend, Sun Jiaoyang wasn't satisfied. She yearned for more. She felt that Li Mo wasn't warm enough to her. He didn't like him as much as she liked him. Moreover, Sun Jiaoyang had a childhood sweetheart, Qian Tian, who was deeply in love with her. He was secretly trying to sow discord between them. Sun Jiaoyang was sad and disappointed with Li Mo. She sent him a text message to break up and went abroad to study with Qian Tian. Li Mo suffered a great blow because of Sun Jiaoyang. He became more indifferent and unpredictable than before. Lin Wanting and Li Mo went to the same university. Her heart, which had died after Li Mo and Sun Jiaoyang started dating, was revived again after they broke up. TSK, his hormone secretion is too strong, and his testosterone is also very active. To put it simply, he's in heat and wants to have sex with you, right? 001 confirmed error statement. That's right, but you know, reproduction on planet Araga is different from that on Earth. So, you should let Li Mo do it. It's a good opportunity to experience it. 001 felt that what Error said made sense, so she let Li Mo do what he wanted and didn't resist. This made Li Mo even more excited. He couldn't help but tighten his grip on 001's hand. Chapter 329. Sweet little angels. Lin Wanting was still secretly in love with Li Mo, just like when they were in high school. Watching him suffer for the sake of Sun Jiaoyang, torture yourself. Lin Wanting silently guarded Li Mo. After graduation, he even specially went to work in his company. Almost everyone could tell that Lin Wanting liked Li Mo. But she had never confessed to Li Mo. Even if she didn't say it herself, others wouldn't specifically point it out to embarrass her. Everyone had a good impression of such a gentle and reserved girl. Perhaps Li Mo understood Lin Wanting's feelings later on, but he didn't say anything. He just silently distanced himself from Lin Wanting. Lin Wanting was a smart girl. She should be able to understand what Li Mo meant. Lin Wanting didn't say this kind of thing clearly, so if she really did, both sides were embarrassed. Just like that, Lin Wanting stayed by Li Mo's side for 6 years after Sun Jiaoyang left. After all, they were friends who were neither close nor distant. Later, when Sun Jiaoyang returned to China, Li Mo and she rekindled their relationship. This made Lin Wanting feel very pained. But when she saw Li Mo's happiness, she also wished them well. Then she left alone, regretting it for the rest of her life. You have said so much. What's the problem? 001 asked in confusion. Error. I knew you didn't understand. The problem in this world is this Lin Wanting. He wants to quit. But Error, though it is a good habit to ask when you do not understand. But you really have too many whys. Error gritted his teeth and said to 001. Then it answered 001's questions. No, it should be the solitary roar of an earth female. Idiot, idiot, idiot. I'm AF * King Idiot. Upon hearing this, both 001 and Error were stunned. Lady Lin Wanting came from a scholarly family. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that she was the daughter of a respectable family. Looking at 001, who was as quiet as a chicken, gulped and said, perhaps this is what it means to not perish in silence, but to explode in silence. After hearing Error's words, 001 immediately looked at him with admiration. You're amazing. You've just come to Earth, but you already know so much. Error raised his tail and said, it's nothing, I just happen to be a little smarter than you. 001 nodded. She had no objection to this. Then, the beautiful lady in the video continued to stomp her feet, her ferocious expression ruining her tranquil and scholarly aura. Li Mo didn't flirt with me, nor did he give me any wrong hints. On the contrary, he really didn't give me any chance. Of course, he's not a scumbag. I have no objections to him. Even my love rival, Sun Jiaoyang, is the same. I'm hating myself for not living up to my expectations. Will you die if you King tell me your feelings for him openly? You clearly knew Lee Mo first and liked him first, but you didn't dare to say it, so others dared to say it. You watched them show off their love all day long. Alright, they've finally broken up. I didn't expect me to be such a coward. I just quietly stayed by the side of the person I liked for 6 years, and then watched them reunite and fall in love. I really didn't use any strength to pry him away. Even if you're a guardian, you have to do something for Lee Mo. In the end, I really didn't do anything other than liking him. Otherwise, even if she didn't say that she liked him, she had done so much for Lee Mo in secret for 6 years. How could he not be touched? If she confessed at this time, even if he didn't like her and was willing to date her, there was a high chance that they could walk out together. In the end, she really didn't seize the chance at all. In this case, how could she have the face to regret it for the rest of her life? It was obvious that she didn't do her best. Otherwise, if she did her best for the person she liked, it would be a beautiful memory when she was old, not a regret. Moreover, Lin Wanting didn't expect that she would regret it for the rest of her life. If she really liked Lee Mo that much, she would have done everything she could to get him when she was young. In short, Lin Wanting didn't want to face a fool like herself. Therefore, she quit, and then the world went out of control. 001 felt that Lin Wanting's grating and swearing was too ugly. She was such a beautiful person. Everyone has a different way of liking someone. You shouldn't insult yourself like that. Although I don't understand feelings, I also know that Ms. Lin's self-control and waiting was very beautiful when she was young. No matter, you don't have to say more. In short, I seem to have activated some kind of mechanism, and I can no longer go back to the good old days. After that, Lin Wanting disappeared, leaving 001 and Air looking at each other. What should we do, Air? Do you still remember our mission? Since she quit, then you have to replace her to maintain the plot of this world. At this time, 001 remembered the real reason why they came to Earth. It turned out that this was the mission. Do you understand? 2 asked 001 seriously. 001 nodded solemnly, took over the mission as usual, and gave the highest Araga etiquette. I understand, I will complete it. Yes, we just do what Lin Wanting wants. This shouldn't be difficult. Both 001 and its companion vessel were very confident in themselves. After all, they had completed every mission on planet Araga with the best results. At this time, it is already the summer vacation after Lin Wanting and the others graduated from high school. Sun Jiaoyang has already gone abroad. 001 was surprised. It seems that Ms. Lin just feels that the next 6 years are unbearable. You are so good. You actually used an idiom correctly. Air's praise made 001 proud. This is nothing. I can't be proud. I still need to work hard. I detected that there is a mission that Ms. Lin should do tonight. It is time for us to go. What is it? 001 asked curiously. It's Ms. Lin. She should have found Lee Mo's whereabouts tonight. She followed him all the way to the bar and watched him from a distance. Are you saying that Ms. Lin followed a man and watched him for the whole night? For some reason, 001 his tone became a little subtle. Not all night. After Lee Mo went home after drinking, Ms. Lin watched him go home and left. It turns out that the females on Earth are also so powerful. 001 couldn't help but murmur. She recalled a fugitive she had chased on planet Araga. She had followed several men and raped them. Those men hid in the corner and cried. Later, when he caught the criminal, they walked out of the shadow. However, later on, they liked to come to see her every time. They said that looking at her made them feel at ease. 001 didn't understand at all. 001 felt that Ms. Lin had a lot of criminal potential. No wonder she later became like the one in the video. However, just like what Tutu said, it was just following a man, watching him, and then sending him home. Such a task was indeed a piece of cake for 001. Therefore, 001 and Air set off for the bar confidently. At this time, Lee Mo had already arrived at the bar. They could only start from the next part of the plot. On the edge of the bar sat a male. He was between a boy and a man on Earth. He was young and mature, with a unique sense of beauty. 001 learned about the aesthetics of Earth. Although Earth people were ugly in the eyes of Araga people, she knew that Li Mo was a male with outstanding appearance. Because 001 detected that the magnetism around Li Mo was diverting their hormones towards him. There had never been a teenager who looked better than Li Mo in a white shirt. Such a person was between a boy and a man. His clean and refreshing aura was out of place in this bar, but it was as attractive as a poppy. 001 stood not far behind Li Mo, staring at him motionlessly. I think this is very strange. The perverts on Earth seem to be like this. Error searched for the introduction of the perverts on Earth. It was silent for a moment. It seemed to be true. For the sake of the mission, I have wronged you. Err sighed. They were the generals of planet Araga, not the perverts on Earth. Even so, when it came to completing the mission, 001 was the most dutiful. However, at this time, a drunkard suddenly took a wine bottle and threw it at Li Mo. Warning, warning, the target mission is in danger. Admiral 001, quickly go to the rescue. Perhaps Li Mo later understood Lin Wanting's feelings, but he did not say anything. He just silently distanced himself from Lin Wanting. Lin Wanting was a smart girl. She should be able to understand Li Mo's meaning. Lin Wanting did not say this kind of thing clearly. If she really made it clear, both sides would be embarrassed. After Sun Jiaoyang left, Lin Wanting stayed with Li Mo for 6 years, always as a close friend. Later, when Sun Jiaoyang returned to China, Li Mo and she rekindled their old relationship. Chapter 330. The cute little angels were too big. It was precisely because the impact was too great, that was why he was trying to cover it up. However, Li Mo clearly knew that he was avoiding a certain feeling, but 001's performance made him unable to ignore it. Li Mo consciously avoided 001, but he couldn't help but pay attention to her. Why isn't she looking at me now? Is she angry? Or, when he thought of the guess that made his heart sink, Li Mo didn't even dare to think about it. Or did she not like him anymore? Wasn't this what he wanted her to be like from the beginning? But why did he find it so hard to accept now? Li Mo, who was originally relieved that 001 did not frequently pay attention to him and disturb his heart lake, at this time, his mood was completely down. In fact, 001 felt that she had performed her recent mission very well. She had done everything that was mentioned in the secret love manual. She didn't have to keep an eye on him anymore. Moreover, she heard that it was very comfortable to soak in hot springs on Earth. This made 001 very curious and eager to give it a try. After arriving at the hotel, she made an appointment with other female classmates. It was better to listen to the experienced Earth females on this kind of thing. Therefore, 001 did not have much time to keep an eye on Li Mo at this time. On the other hand, Li Mo frequently cast his gaze at 001. She seemed to be very interested in something. She had been listening attentively with her head tilted. Moreover, the way Lin Wanting smiled. Li Mo had wanted to say a long time ago. It was too much like a tender and elegant little flower blooming alone. However, what was different now? This little flower bloomed silently at the bottom of his heart. Li Mo pursed his lips, looking at Lin Wanting's smile. His heart itched, he wanted to do something. His hands unconsciously clenched. However, even when 001 and her classmates entered the hot spring, Li Mo did not find a chance to talk to her. 001 and her classmates were separated, but they were very close to each other and could talk through a curtain. It was said that this was the special design of this hotel, but in fact, it was specially prepared by Xiang Hua for 001. If she didn't separate them, how could she deal with her? Xiang Hua asked someone to put a snake in the hot spring in 001. It was not poisonous. Of course, she was not so crazy to kill people. Xiang Hua just wanted 001 to make a fool of himself. If he ran out of the hot spring in disheveled clothes, everyone would see it. Especially in front of Li Mo, she really lost a lot of face. However, Xiang Hua didn't expect that after 001 saw a snake soaking in the hot spring, she didn't panic at all, let alone run out and shout. 001 calmly picked up the snake and held it in front of his eyes to observe it carefully. It was still alive. The snake hissed and stuck out its tongue as if it was showing off to 001. However, in fact, animals had a more sensitive instinct than humans. It sensed that 001 was a very dangerous existence to it. It was just afraid and wanted to escape. But 001 held the snake's body tightly and looked at its green eyes. Is this a snake on the earth? Yes, it's a reptile. It's non-venomous. 001 nodded its little head with interest. Except for human beings, it was the first time that she had been so close to other creatures on the earth. 001 was having a good time playing with the snake, but Xianghua, who was waiting outside, was anxious. Why hasn't there been any reaction for so long? What's going on inside? Xianghua gritted her teeth. She couldn't wait any longer, so she decided to go in and see the situation in person. However, 001 was not scared, but she was so scared that she screamed. 001 was also scared by her voice. Her hand trembled, and the snake flew out of her hand. And so coincidentally, the snake fell on Xianghua. This scared Xianghua out of her wits. Her voice almost pierced through the sky. At this time, 001 suddenly rushed out of the water, bringing with it a splash of water. She grabbed a towel from the side and wrapped it around herself, then ran towards Xianghua. 001 knew that the fragile little females on the earth were afraid of these things, and it was said that males were generally stronger than females. However, when 001 thought of the delicate Liemo, she suddenly felt that the females on earth were really too weak to scare her. She needed to redouble her care. Therefore, 001 put one hand around Xianghua's waist and held her in his arms, and quickly took the snake from her with the other hand. Well, it's all right. Don't be afraid. 001 comforted Xianghua in a soft voice unique to Lin Wanting. It was very comfortable to listen to. Even Xianghua couldn't help sobbing and gradually calmed down under her comfort. 001 reached out and gently wiped away Xianghua's tears. Well, don't cry. It's time to put on your delicate makeup. 001's words made Xianghua stunned. Only then did she realize that she had been nestled in the arms of her enemy. This made her face turn red. She pushed 001 away vigorously and got out of her arms. Who told you to say that? Xianghua said angrily. But she didn't know why her eyes flickered, and she didn't dare to look at 001. In the end, Xianghua secretly glared at 001 and ran away. This made 001 confused. It seemed that the minds of girls on the earth were also difficult to understand. Xianghua made such a big noise before, which alarmed a lot of people. As soon as Liemo heard that it was Lin Wanting's hot spring that had an accident, he hurriedly ran out. Thief! They didn't expect that someone would take advantage of the chaos to steal things. The girls all screamed. Hearing this, 001 hurriedly ran out, but she didn't expect to run into Liemo head-on. 001 was so focused on catching the thief that she didn't notice anything, but Liemo was so angry with her. 001 wanted to run past Li Missouri. She didn't want to stay at all. However, when she passed by Liemo, Liemo suddenly reached out and grabbed her tightly. Not only that, but this was different from usual. Liemo directly hid 001 in his arms. This surprised 001, so she paused for a moment and was firmly held in Liemo's arms. However, what greeted 001 was Liemo's exasperated reprimand, which surrounded her like a blanket. Lin Wanting, what are you thinking? Why did you come out dressed like this? Lin Wanting's voice was as soft and gentle as ever, which made Liemo's ears move slightly. He had to admit that when he was waiting for Lin Wanting's clothes, he was unconsciously nervous. He hadn't had a video call with Lin Wanting yet. This perspective was very strange, but Lin Wanting's voice eased this feeling very well. Liemo calmed his tumbling mood and told her what Mama Li had told him. This made the smile on 001's face widen. She said in surprise, "That's great. Thank Andy for me." Hearing Lin Wanting's words and looking at her expression, Liemo's lips unconsciously showed a smile. Therefore his words became softer. "Wait a minute. I still have some here. I'll show them to you. Which flavor do you like? When Liamo left, 001 took off her clothes and began to change into pajamas. When Liamo re-entered the video interface, the first thing he saw was a small, delicate and fair waist, and even more beautiful and alluring scenery above it. The mobile phone in Liamo's hand fell immediately, making a loud noise, which was heard by other students in the dormitory. And Liamo's nosebleed finally couldn't help but flow out. He quickly covered his nose. Although Liamo was fast enough, a few drops still fell on his quilt, showing a kind of dazzling bright red. Liamo was completely stunned, and his mind was completely filled with the scene he had just seen. After changing her clothes, 001 looked at the black video in confusion. Why did Liamo suddenly hang up? After Liamo reacted, he hurriedly covered his mobile phone. He was afraid that others would see such a pornographic scene. However, when the always cold and calm school hunk became like this, it naturally attracted the attention of his roommates. Especially when they saw Liamo's nosebleed, they all showed a tacit smile between men. Liamo, I didn't expect you to be like this, Liamo. That's right. Tell me, did you secretly watch an action movie by yourself just now? Look at him, he's on fire. Liamo was speechless. He really couldn't explain himself. Moreover, in a sense, what they said was right. It was precisely because of this that Liamo was so frustrated and speechless. Liamo's silence made them more and more excited. Liamo simply ignored them and rushed downstairs to the 001 dormitory. Liamo rushed over with one breath. When he got downstairs, his mind calmed down. What was he doing? However, since he was already here, there was no way Liamo would back down. Chapter 331. Sweet little angel's Lin Wanting's voice was as gentle as ever, causing Liamo's ears to twitch slightly. He had to admit it. While he was waiting for Lin Wanting Jiatong, his heart unconsciously tensed up. He had yet to video chat with Lin Wanting. This kind of perspective was very strange. However, Lin Wanting's voice was very good at dispelling this feeling. Liamo suppressed his tumbling emotions. He told her what Mama Li had told him. This made the smile on 001's face widen, and he said in surprise, "That's great. Thank Andy for me." Hearing Lin Wanting's words and seeing her expression, Liamo couldn't help but smile. Thus, his tone became even gentler. Wait here, I still have some here. I'll show them to you. What flavor do you like? When Liamo left, 001 took off his clothes and began to change into pajamas. When Liamo re-entered the video interface, the first thing that entered his eyes was a small, delicate, and fair waist. There were even more beautiful and alluring sceneries above it. The phone in Liamo's hand fell to the ground. It was so loud that all the other students in the dormitory heard it. Liamo couldn't help but have a nosebleed. He quickly covered his nose. Even though Liamo was fast enough, however, a few drops still fell onto his blanket. It was a dazzling scarlet color. Liamo was dumbfounded. His mind was completely filled with what he had just seen. After changing his clothes, 001 looked at the black video in confusion. Why did Liamo suddenly hang up? After Liamo regained his senses, she hurriedly covered her phone. He was afraid that others would see such a scene. However, the school hunk, who had always been cold and calm, had become like this, which naturally attracted the attention of his roommates. Especially when they saw that Liamo had a nosebleed, they all revealed a knowing smile between men. Liamo, I didn't expect you to be like this, Liamo. That's right. Tell me, did you secretly watch an action movie by yourself just now? Look at him, he's on fire. Liamo was speechless. He really couldn't explain himself. Moreover, in a sense, what they said wasn't wrong. It was precisely because of this that Liamo felt extremely defeated and speechless. Liamo's silence made them even more excited. Liamo simply ignored them and rushed to the entrance of dormitory 001. Liamo rushed over in one breath. When he reached downstairs, his mind calmed down. What was he doing? However, since he was already here, it was impossible for Liamo to back down. Therefore, he took a deep breath and called 001. Go downstairs, I'm downstairs. As soon as he heard Lin Wanting's voice, the embarrassment and annoyance just now came up again. Therefore, Li Mo's voice was very cold to Lin Wanting, and he unconsciously used a commanding tone. But 001 didn't care, because she couldn't understand that kind of emotion at all. 001 came down very quickly, wearing only a thin nightgown. Of course, the style was the same as Lin Wanting's usual dressing style, gentle and not revealing. However, when Li Mo saw it, he felt like his head was about to explode. She came out to meet a man in the middle of the night dressed like this. What was she thinking in her mind? In particular, Li Mo's good eyesight allowed him to clearly see that the girl was not wearing underwear, which made him think of the scene he saw through the video before. Li Mo quickly covered his nose. He felt that he had the urge to have a nosebleed again. Of course, Li Mo's mood also became more exasperated because of 001's behavior. He suddenly put down his hand, vigorously pulled 001 to a hidden place, and forcibly put his coat on the other party's shoulders. 001 blinked his eyes in confusion. He stared at Li Mo with his crystal-clear eyes, as if he was the one who was thinking dirty. Li Mo couldn't help but exhale, staring at 001 and said, "What the hell are you thinking? Do you know what you are doing?" People like Lin Wanting, who were thoughtful and meticulous in handling things, would not be unaware of the consequences of things. However, because of Lin Wanting's consistent character, it also made Li Mo believe that she was not the person who used this kind of means to seduce him. However, Li Mo was really about to go crazy because of Lin Wanting. Of course, 001 would not understand the reason why Li Mo did this. She just thought that the men on Earth were really delicate. "I know very well." 001 answered firmly. She had always been strong-willed. She would not be confused, shaken, or flinched. She was very clear about her task and goal. However, 001's words made Li Mo stunned, and he looked at her in disbelief. Li Mo almost lost his voice. He murmured, "Then why do you do this?" Li Mo had a faint guess in his heart, but he dared not believe it, and his heart was about to jump out. 001 did not know Li Mo's mood. She replied without hesitation, "Of course, because that person is you. You are not someone else." Getting the answer he expected, Li Mo's whole heart was full, and the blush spread uncontrollably from his neck to his cheeks. Li Mo's eyes flickered, and he almost did not dare to look directly at Lin Wanting. Just like last time, Li Mo was defeated in front of 001, and he could not find the momentum he had when he came. However, before leaving, Li Mo still couldn't help whispering to 001, "Remember, don't do this in front of others." 001 nodded obediently, and then Li Mo left in a trance. After returning to his dormitory, Li Mo suddenly woke up. What had he just said to Lin Wanting? It seemed that Lin Wanting could only wear it for him to see. Was this what he thought subconsciously? Li Mo couldn't help covering his face. He couldn't face this cruel fact. The school and other universities were going to hold a friendly competition. Li Mo and 001 were both selected because of their excellent grades. They were all treated very well, but because they were from different departments, Li Mo and 001 did not sit together. This made Li Mo's heart not know whether to breathe a sigh of relief or be a little disappointed. After arriving at the booked hotel, there were some precautions that Li Mo and the others were responsible for, and they needed to explain to the people of other departments. However, they gave the task of Lin Wanting to Li Mo, and they kept winking at him. Obviously, they thought that it was a good opportunity for Li Mo to get close to a beautiful woman, which made Li Mo's heart ripple. He tried to calm himself down, and then went to the door of Lin Wanting's room and knocked on the door. 001 had just taken a bath and went to open the door for him, which made Li Mo stunned. Because the clothes that 001 was wearing was the shirt that Li Mo had worn before. Li Mo? This kind of impact made Li Mo's head feel like it was going to explode. Lin Wanting was wearing his own shirt, and she was wearing nothing else. This was an extremely ambiguous move, not to mention that it showed Lin Wanting's good figure at a glance. Before Li Mo came to his senses, he quickly reached out and closed the door. But 001 didn't feel anything. She turned around and walked into the room, apologizing as she walked. "I'm sorry, Li Mo. I dropped my hair clip under the bed. I'll go pick it up. Sit down for a while." Li Mo was walking behind 001. He could see her fair, tender and alluring legs that were exposed under the hem of her shirt. And as 001 walked, the beautiful scenery on her body was looming, and Li Mo's body unconsciously became hot. Li Mo felt that the air here made him unable to breathe, and his whole head was swollen. At this time, 001 still gave Li Mo a fatal blow. Of course, he had to bend down to pick up things. Moreover, 001 knelt down in front of Li Mo with his back to him and reached out to search under the bed. Li Mo looked normal on the surface, but he knew that he couldn't act as if nothing had happened. It was precisely because the impact was too great that he tried to cover it up. However, Li Mo clearly knew that he was avoiding a certain feeling, but 001's behavior made him unable to ignore it. Li Mo consciously avoided 001, but he couldn't help but pay attention to her. Why didn't she look at him now? Was she angry? Or was it that thought that made his heart sink? Li Mo didn't even dare to think about it. Or did she not like him anymore? Wasn't this what he wanted her to do from the start? But why was it so hard for him to accept it now? Li Mo, who was relieved that 001 did not frequently pay attention to him and disturb his heart lake, breathed a sigh of relief. At this time, his mood was completely depressed. In fact, 001 felt that she had performed her recent task very well. She had done everything that was mentioned in the secret love handbook. She didn't have to stare at people so urgently anymore. Moreover, it was said that it was very comfortable to soak in hot springs on the earth, which made 001 very curious and eager to try. Chapter 332. Sweet little angels. Li Mo grabbed Lin Wanting's hand tightly. He glared at him fiercely. It looked like it was going to eat someone. To be honest, 001 was really frightened by Li Mo's fierce appearance, so he had never been like this before. The handsome and indifferent young man seemed to have suddenly turned into a hungry wolf. Of course, 001 was not afraid. She was confident that even if Li Mo really turned into a wolf, he would not be eaten by him. Therefore, 001 was still very calm. "Li Mo, let me go. Something happened outside." 001 just calmly narrated this fact to Li Mo, without any emotion. Li Mo was too angry with 001. His eyes were bloodshot, and he couldn't help but sneer. "Linwant, you've successfully driven me crazy. You win." Just as 001 was feeling puzzled, after Li Mo finished speaking, he pressed his lips against hers. Li Mo said that the long period of suppressed longing and anger had created this passionate and ferocious kiss. His skills were indeed lacking. Yes, but enthusiasm makes up for it. Just like that, he bumped into 001's mouth. He forcefully curled his tongue around hers. They made loud clicking sounds of kissing. This voice stimulated Li Mo's desire even more. As he gazed, his body became hotter and hotter. The intention of venting had changed. Li Mo became more and more addicted to it. He could not help but hug 001 tightly. He kept adjusting his posture and angle. It would be easier for him to kiss her. 001's eyes widened in disbelief. She had long been stunned. This human behavior was attributed to reproduction, which meant that Li Mo wanted to have children with her. 001. She was frightened at last, and her and Error's dull and thick nerves were aware that the script in their hands was not quite right. Of course, what they were playing was a crush. The target of the mission wanted to have children with her, so how could it be considered a crush? Because of this, 001 was unable to move for a long time, allowing Li Mo to do whatever he wanted to her. Li Mo held 001's waist tightly with one hand and her neck with the other, pressing her against him. Li Mo's mouth wrapped around her pink lips, sucking and kissing them forcefully. His breathing became more and more rapid. After a long while, Li Mo reluctantly let go of 001 while panting. However, his lips couldn't help but linger on the corner of her lips, and he couldn't help but peck at it. Li Mo's eyes were still red from the passion from before, but he was suppressing it with all his might. Just like the surging desire in his body, it couldn't be quenched by a mere kiss. However, Li Mo only appeared to be flushed, and his breath was hot. He still retained his sobriety and sanity. When Li Mo saw that 001 still hadn't reacted, his eyes softened, and his heart was full of love. He couldn't help kissing 001's white and smooth face. His lips caressed her skin, and he said softly, "Wan, let's be together." Li Mo's kiss itself explained a lot of problems. It represented his compromise with Lin wanting. He finally didn't want to escape anymore, and he didn't want to resist the feeling of Lin wanting in his heart. It also showed that Li Mo was willing to forget the past and start over with Lin wanting. He had never been a casual person. This decision was absolutely serious. However, now it was 001 and Error's turn to be stunned. They couldn't accept it. How could this be? 001 and Error almost wanted to beat themselves to death. Were they going to fail their mission? They couldn't imagine it. Although 001 didn't answer for a long time, Li Mo was not in a hurry. He just kissed her slowly and asked her in a sexy and seductive voice, Li Mo's last syllable was so seductive that it made one's ears feel like they were about to get pregnant. Li Mo held 001 in his arms, stroked her gently, and waited patiently for her answer. I think it doesn't matter. Anyway, you want to experience the 7 emotions and 6 desires of the earth. Isn't falling in love with someone also a part of it? What's more, this is before Sun Jiaoyang comes back, so we won't ruin the plot. Anyway, after Sun Jiaoyang comes back, Li Mo will definitely break up with you. 001 felt that what Error said was very reasonable, so she nodded calmly to Li Mo and said, "Okay." 001's answer made Li Mo's heart beat very fast for a moment, and then he was overwhelmed by a burst of ecstasy. Although Li Mo had expected that Lin wanting would not refuse him at all, after all, it was so obvious that she liked him. However, hearing her consent in person, Li Mo's face unconsciously showed a bright smile. Li Mo couldn't wait to hold 001 tightly in his arms. He couldn't help but bury his cheek in her neck and said in a muffled voice, "That's great." However, after the ferocious joy subsided, Li Mo also felt that something was amiss. The faint feeling of emptiness couldn't be ignored, but Li Mo temporarily suppressed it. Li Mo's strong emotions couldn't affect 001. She just felt very confused. After all, she didn't understand why things had developed to this point. She always thought that she had completed the mission well. Don't think about it. It's not your fault. It must be that the male creatures on the earth have different ideas. 001 also accepted Error's statement. Otherwise, it couldn't be explained at all. After Li Mo and 001 confirmed their relationship, he didn't hide anything anymore. After all, Li Mo had resisted and suppressed himself before. Now that he had admitted it, he naturally didn't care about it anymore. Li Mo and 001 sat together, snuggling intimately. His hand held 001's small hand. Under the cover of their sight, Li Mo couldn't help but gently play with the small hand in his palm. His lips couldn't help but curl up. He had a relaxed and happy smile on his face, which he had never had before. 001 tried to ignore the discomfort in her hand. Error had checked for her. This was the most basic intimacy between men and women on the earth. She shouldn't refuse it. 001 turned her head to the outside of the car. At this time, they were competing to sit on the bus on the way back. Chapter 333. Sweet little angels. Li had to admit that. When he was waiting for Lin wanting to talk to Jie Tong, his heart unconsciously became nervous. He hadn't had a video call with Lin wanting yet, so this perspective was very strange. However, Lin wanting's voice was very good at easing this feeling. Li Mo suppressed his tumbling emotions and told him what Mama Li had told him. This made the smile on 001's face widen. He said in surprise, "That's great, help me thank Auntie." Hearing Lin Wanting's words and looking at her expression, Li Mo's lips unconsciously revealed a smile. Thus, his words became even gentler. Just you wait, I still have some here. I'll show you which flavor you like. When Li Mo left, 001 took off his clothes and began to change into his pajamas. When Li Mo re-entered the video interface, what he saw was a small and delicate white waist, and there were even more beautiful and alluring scenery above it. The phone in Li Mo's hand immediately fell to the ground, making a very loud sound that was heard by the other students in the dormitory. Li Mo's nosebleed finally couldn't help but flow out. He hurriedly covered his nose with his hand. Although Li Mo's speed was fast enough, however, there were still a few drops that landed on his blanket, revealing a glaring red color. Li Mo was completely stunned. His mind was completely filled with the scene he had just seen. 001, on the other hand, looked at the black video in confusion after changing his clothes. Why did Li Mo suddenly hang up? After Li Mo regained his senses, he hurriedly covered his phone. He was afraid that others would see such a restricted scene. However, the always cold and calm school hunk had become like this, which naturally attracted the attention of his roommates. Especially when they saw that Li Mo had a nosebleed, they all revealed a tacit smile between men. Li Mo, I didn't expect you to be like this, Li Mo. That's right. Tell me, did you secretly watch an action movie by yourself just now? Look, he's burning with lust. Li Mo was speechless. He really couldn't explain himself. Moreover, in a sense, what they said wasn't wrong. It was precisely because of this that Li Mo felt extremely defeated and speechless. Li Mo's silence made them even more excited. Li Mo simply ignored them and rushed to the entrance of dormitory 001. Li Mo rushed over in one breath. When he reached downstairs, his mind calmed down. What was he doing? However, since he was already here, it was impossible for Li Mo to back down. Therefore, he took a deep breath and called 001. Go downstairs, I'm downstairs. As soon as he heard Lin Wanting's voice, the feeling of shame and annoyance just now came up again. Therefore, Li Mo's voice was very cold to Lin Wanting, and he unconsciously used a commanding tone. But 001 didn't care, because she couldn't understand that kind of emotion at all. 001 came down very quickly, wearing only a thin nightgown. Of course, the style was the same as Lin Wanting's usual dressing style, gentle and not revealing. However, in Li Mo's eyes, it still made his brain explode. She dressed like this to meet a man in the middle of the night. What was she thinking in her mind? In particular, Li Mo's good eyesight allowed it to clearly see that the girl was not wearing underwear, which made him think of the scene he saw through the video before. Li Mo quickly covered his nose. He felt that he had the urge to have a nosebleed again. Of course, Li Mo's mood also became more exasperated because of 001's behavior. He suddenly put down his hand, vigorously pulled 001 to a hidden place, and forcibly put his coat on the other party's shoulders. 001 blinked his eyes in confusion. He stared at Li Mo with his crystal-clear eyes, as if he was the one who was thinking dirty. Li Mo couldn't help but exhale, staring at 001 and said, "What the hell are you thinking? Do you know what you are doing?" People like Lin Wanting, who were thoughtful and meticulous in handling things, would not be unaware of the consequences of things. However, because of Lin Wanting's consistent character, it also made Li Mo believe that she was not the person who used this kind of means to seduce him. However, Li Mo was really about to go crazy because of Lin Wanting. Of course, 001 would not understand the reason why Li Mo did this. She just thought that the men on Earth were really delicate. I know very well. 001 answered firmly. She had always been strong-willed. She would not be confused, shaken, or flinched. She was very clear about her task and goal. However, 001's words made Li Mo stunned, and he looked at her in disbelief. Li Mo almost lost his voice. He murmured, "Then why do you do this?" Li Mo had a faint guess in his heart, but he dared not believe it, and his heart was about to jump out. 001 did not know Li Mo's mood. She replied without hesitation, "Of course, because that person is you. You are not someone else. Getting the answer he expected, Li Mo's whole heart was full, and the blush spread uncontrollably from his neck to his cheeks. Li Mo's eyes flickered, and he almost did not dare to look directly at Lin Wanting. Just like last time, Li Mo was defeated in front of 001, and he could not find the momentum he had when he came. However, before leaving, Li Mo still couldn't help whispering to 001, "Remember, don't do this in front of others." 001 nodded obediently, and then Li Mo left in a trance. After returning to his dormitory, Li Mo suddenly woke up. What had he just said to Lin Wanting? It seemed that Lin Wanting could only wear it for him to see. Was this what he thought subconsciously? Li Mo couldn't help covering his face. He couldn't face this cruel fact. The school and other universities were going to hold a friendly competition. Li Mo and 001 were both selected because of their excellent grades. They were all treated very well, but because they were from different departments, Li Mo and 001 did not sit together. Li Mo didn't know whether he should heave a sigh of relief or feel a little disappointed. Chapter 334. Li Mo might have understood Lin Wanting's intentions later on. He did not explain but silently distanced himself from Lin Wanting. Lin Wanting was a smart girl. She should be able to understand Li Mo's meaning. Lin Wanting had not said this kind of thing clearly. If it was really made clear, both sides would be embarrassed. Lin Wanting stayed by Li Mo's side for 6 years after Sun Jiaoyang left. She was always a friend who was neither close nor distant. It was not until Sun Jiaoyang returned home that Li Mo and she rekindled their old relationship. This made Lin Wanting very painful, but seeing Li Mo's happiness, she also wished them well and then left alone, regretting it for the rest of her life. "You've said so much, what's the problem?" 001 asked in confusion. "Error. I knew you didn't understand. The person who has a problem in this world is this Lin Wanting. I don't want to do it anymore." But, "Error, although it's a good habit to ask if you don't understand, you really have too many whys." Gritted his teeth and said to 001. Then he answered 001's questions. "No, it should be the solitary roar of an earthwoman." "Idiot, idiot, idiot, I'm AF * king idiot." Upon hearing this, 001 and Error were stunned. One had to know that this Ms. Lin Wanting came from a scholarly family. It was not an exaggeration to say that she was a lady from a wealthy family. Looking at 001's quiet appearance, Error swallowed his saliva and said, "Perhaps this is not to perish in silence, but to erupt in silence." After hearing Error say this, 001 immediately looked at it with admiration. You're so amazing. You've just come to Earth, and you already know so much." Raised his tail reservedly and said, "It's nothing. I just happen to be a little smarter than you." 001 nodded. She had no objection to this. Then, the beautiful lady in the video continued to stomp her feet, her ferocious expression ruining her tranquil and scholarly aura. "Li Mo didn't flirt with me, and he didn't give me any wrong hints. On the contrary, he didn't give me any chances at all. Of course, he's not a scumbag, and I don't have any opinions about him. Even my love rival, Sun Jiaoyang, is the same. I'm just hating myself for not living up to my expectations. Would it kill you to F** king confess your feelings for him openly? You were the one who met Li Mo first and fell in love with him first, but you didn't dare to say it out loud, but someone else did. You just watched them show off their love every day. Okay, they finally broke up. I didn't expect that I would be such a coward. I just quietly stayed by the side of the person I liked for 6 years and then watched them reunite and fall in love again. I really didn't use any strength to pry him away. Even if you're a guardian, you should at least do something for Li Mo. In the end, I really did nothing but like him. Otherwise, even if she didn't say that she liked him, she had done so much for Li Mo in secret for 6 years. How could he not be touched? If she confessed at this time, even if he didn't like her and was willing to date her, the chances of them going out together would be very high. In the end, she really didn't seize the chance at all. In this case, How could she have the face to regret it for the rest of her life? It was clear that she didn't do her best. Otherwise, if she did her best for the person she liked, it would be a beautiful memory when she was old, not a regret. Moreover, Lin Wanting didn't expect that she would regret it for the rest of her life. If she really liked Li Mo that much, it would have been good if she had tried all ways to get him when she was young. In short, Lin Wanting didn't want to face a fool like herself, so she quit, and then the world went out of control. 001 felt that Lin Wanting's vulgar and harsh voice was too ugly. She was such a beautiful person. Everyone has a different way of liking someone. You shouldn't insult yourself like that. Although I don't understand feelings, I also know that Ms. Lin's self-control and waiting for you when she was young was very beautiful. No matter, you don't have to say more. In short, I seem to have activated some kind of mechanism, and I can no longer go back to the good old days. After that, Lin Wanting disappeared, leaving 001 and Air looking at each other. What should we do, Air? Do you still remember our mission? Since she quit, then you have to replace her to maintain the plot of this world. 001 remembered the real reason why they came to Earth. It turned out that this was the mission. Do you understand? 2 asked 001 seriously. 001 nodded solemnly, took over the mission as usual, and performed the highest Araga etiquette. I understand, I will complete it. Yes, we just do what Lin Wanting wants. This shouldn't be difficult. 001 and its companion were both very confident in themselves. After all, they always completed the best missions on planet Araga. At this time, it is already the summer vacation after Lin Wanting and the others graduated from high school. Sun Jiaoyang has already gone abroad. 001 was surprised. It seems that Ms. Lin just feels that the next 6 years are unbearable. You are really good. You actually used an idiom correctly. Air's praise made 001 proud. This is nothing. I can't be arrogant. I still need to work hard. I detected that there is a mission that Ms. Lin should do tonight. It is time for us to go. What is it? 001 asked curiously. It's Ms. Lin. She should have found Li Mo's whereabouts tonight. She followed him all the way to the bar and watched him from a distance. Are you saying that Ms. Lin followed a man and watched him for the whole night? For some reason, 001 his tone became a little subtle. Not all night. After Li Mo went home after drinking, Ms. Lin watched him go home and left. It turns out that the females on Earth are also so powerful. 001 couldn't help but murmur. She thought of a fugitive she had chased on planet Araga. She had followed several men and then killed them. Those men hid in the corner and cried. Later, when he caught the criminal, they walked out of the shadow. Chapter 335. Sweet little angels, Li Mo. What's the matter? Lin Wanting's voice was as gentle as ever, causing Li Mo's ears to twitch slightly. He had to admit it. While he was waiting for Lin Wanting Jiatong, his heart unconsciously tensed up. He hadn't had a video chat with Lin Wanting yet, so this was a very strange perspective. However, Lin Wanting's voice was very good at dispelling this feeling. Li Mo suppressed his tumbling emotions and told her what Mama Li had told him. The smile on 001's face widened. He said in pleasant surprise, "That's great. Thank Andy for me." Hearing what Lin Wanting said, looking at her expression, the corners of Li Mo's lips also unconsciously curled into a smile. Thus, the words that came out of his mouth became even gentler. "Just you wait. I still have some here. Let me show you which flavor you like." When Li Mo left, 001 took off his clothes and began to change into pajamas. When Li Mo re-entered the video interface, the first thing he saw was a small, delicate and fair waist, and even more beautiful and alluring scenery above it. The phone in Li Mo's hand immediately fell to the ground, making a loud noise that was heard by all the other students in the dormitory. Li Mo could not help but have a nosebleed. He hurriedly covered his nose with his hand. Even though Li Mo was fast enough, however, there were still a few drops that landed on his blanket, revealing a glaring red color. Liam-o was dumbfounded. His mind was completely filled with what he had just seen. After changing his clothes, 001 looked at the black video in confusion. Why did Liam-o suddenly hang up? After Liam-o regained his senses, he hurriedly covered his phone, afraid that others would see such a restricted image. However, the school hunk, who had always been cold and calm, had become like this, which naturally attracted the attention of his roommates. Especially when they saw that Liam-o had a nosebleed, they all revealed a knowing smile between men. Liam-o, I didn't expect you to be like this, Liam. That's right. Tell me, did you secretly watch an action movie by yourself just now? Look, he's burning with lust. Liam-o was speechless. He really couldn't explain himself. Moreover, in a sense, what they said wasn't wrong. It was precisely because of this that Liam-o felt extremely defeated and speechless. Liam-o's silence made them even more excited. Liam-o simply ignored them and rushed to the entrance of dormitory 001. Liam-o rushed over in one breath. When he got downstairs, his mind calmed down. What was he doing? However, since he was already here, Liam-o couldn't back down. Therefore, he took a deep breath and called 001. Go downstairs, I'm downstairs. As soon as he heard Lin Wanting's voice, the embarrassment and annoyance just now came up again. Therefore, Liam-o's voice was very cold to Lin Wanting, and he unconsciously used a commanding tone. On the other hand, 001 didn't care because she couldn't understand that kind of emotion at all. 001 came down very quickly, wearing only a thin nightgown. Of course, the style was the same as Lin Wanting's usual dressing style, gentle and not revealing. However, in Liam-o's eyes, it still made his brain explode. She came out to meet a man dressed like this in the middle of the night. What was she thinking in her mind? In particular, Liam-o's good eyesight allowed him to clearly see that the girl wasn't wearing any underwear, which reminded him of the scene he saw through the video before. Liam-o quickly covered his nose. He felt that he had the urge to have a nosebleed again. Of course, Liam-o's mood also became more anxious because of 001's behavior. He suddenly put down his hand, vigorously pulled 001 to a hidden place, and forced his coat on the other party's shoulders. 001 blinked his eyes in confusion. He stared at Liam-o with his crystal-clear eyes, as if he was the one who was thinking dirty. Liam-o couldn't help but exhale, staring at 001 and said, "What the hell are you thinking? Do you know what you're doing?" Lin Wanting is a thoughtful and meticulous person, so she will not be unaware of the consequences of this matter. However, because of Lin Wanting's consistent character, Liam-o also believed that she was not the person who used this kind of means to seduce him. However, Liam-o was really about to go crazy because of Lin Wanting. Of course, 001 would not understand the reason why Liam-o did this. She just thought that the men on Earth were really meticulous. I know very well. 001's answer was loud and clear. She had always been strong-willed. She would not be confused, shaken, nor would she retreat. She was very clear about her task and goal. However, 001's words made Liam-o stunned, and he looked at her in disbelief. Liam-o almost lost his voice. He murmured, "Then why do you do this?" Liam-o had a faint guess in his heart, but he dared not believe it, and his heart was about to jump out. 001 didn't know how Liam-o felt. She replied without hesitation, "Of course, because that person is you. You're not someone else." After getting the answer he had expected, Liam-o's whole heart was full, and the blush spread uncontrollably from his neck to his cheeks. Liam-o's eyes flickered, and he almost didn't dare to look directly at Lin Wanting. Just like last time, Liam-o was defeated in front of 001, and he could not find the momentum he had when he came. However, before leaving, Liam-o still couldn't help whispering to 001, "Remember, don't do this in front of others." 001 nodded obediently, and then Liam-o left in a trance. After returning to his dormitory, Liam-o suddenly woke up. What had he just said to Lin Wanting? It seemed that Lin Wanting could only wear it for him to see. Was this what he thought subconsciously? Liam-o couldn't help covering his face. He couldn't face this cruel fact. Their school and other universities were going to hold a friendly match. Lee Mo and 001 were selected because of their excellent grades. They were all treated very well, but because they were in different departments, Lee Mo and 001 didn't sit together. Lee Mo didn't know whether he should heave a sigh of relief or feel a little disappointed. After arriving at the booked hotel, there were some precautions that Lee Mo was responsible for, and they needed to explain to the people in other departments. However, they gave the task of Lin Wanting's side to Lee Mo, and they kept winking at him. Obviously, they thought that it was a good opportunity for Lee Mo to get close to a beautiful woman, which made Lee Mo's heart ripple. He tried to calm himself down, and then went to knock on the door of Lin Wanting's room. 001 had just taken a shower and went to open the door for him, which made Lee Mo stunned. Because the clothes that 001 was wearing were the shirt that Lee Mo had worn before. Lee Mo. This kind of impact made Lee Mo's head feel like it was going to explode. Lin Wanting was wearing his shirt, and she was wearing nothing else. This was an extremely ambiguous move, not to mention that it showed Lin Wanting's good figure at a glance. Before Lee Mo came to his senses, he quickly reached out and closed the door. But 001 didn't feel it. She turned around and walked into the room, saying apologetically, "I'm sorry, Lee Mo, I dropped my hair clip under the bed. I'll go pick it up. You sit for a while." Lee Mo was walking behind 001. He could see her fair, tender and alluring legs that were exposed under the hem of her shirt. And as 001 walked, the beautiful scenery on her body was looming, and Lee Mo's body unconsciously became hot. Lee Mo felt that the air here made him unable to breathe, and his whole head was swollen. At this time, 001 still gave Lee Mo a fatal blow. Of course, she had to bend down to pick up things, and 001 knelt down in front of Lee Mo with her back to him, and reached out to feel under the bed. Chapter 336. Sweet little angels, don't worry, I understand. I will do according to the above requirements, but I will never admit that I like Lee Mo. That's right, you've become smarter after coming to Earth. This is indeed a good place. Therefore, when he was in cram school, Lee Mo felt like the back of his head was about to be on fire. 001 was just doing what Lin Wanting had done previously. She kept staring at Lee Mo. It was obvious that a shy and reserved lady was staring at her sweetheart's gaze. It was different from 001's stare, but 001 couldn't feel the difference. Lee Mo could not ignore 001's gaze, so he turned to look at 001 and asked faintly, "Classmate Lin, what's the matter?" "It's nothing," 001 said without hesitation. Then, she thought for a moment, she had to emphasize one thing, so she quickly said, "I don't like you." Lee Mo. Lee Mo looked at 001's eyes with a complicated expression, and his expression became complicated. 001 did not know that there was a kind of thing in this world that was called trying to cover up. Lee Mo had never been a person who paid too much attention to girls. Other than his previous girlfriend, Sun Jiaoyang, this was the only one he knew more about. Even though Lin Wanting had been sitting behind him the whole time, neither of them were warm and talkative people. They didn't talk much. Lee Mo's impression of Lin Wanting was also that she had a good personality and good grades. She had a good relationship with her classmates. He often heard others talking about her, but Lee Mo did not care. However, looking at Lin Wanting like this, Lee Mo suddenly remembered what his mother had said to him this morning. "Mo, it was a cute and beautiful girl who sent you back last night, but I promised her that I wouldn't say it." "You're so smart, you should be able to understand, right?" Mama Lee looked at Lee Mo and said meaningfully. Lee Mo was stunned. Why would he think of Lin Wanting? With her personality, how could she possibly go to a bar? Even just now, Lee Mo felt that he seemed to have sensed that she had different feelings for him, but he did not suspect her. However, it still left a mark in Lee Mo's heart. Lee Mo pursed his lips and turned around. On the other hand, 001 and Error heaved a sigh of relief. They even felt that they were very smart. I have to look at you in a whole new light. You've done really well. It looks like we can complete the mission very well. 001 nodded and said happily, "Yes, it looks easier than I thought." When the class was over, Li Mo and his friends were talking about entrepreneurship. 001 was still standing not far away and staring at him. Her eyes could not be ignored. Li Mo's friends all patted him on the shoulder jokingly. The meaning was self-evident. 001's situation made them think that Lin Wanting liked Li Mo. Li Mo frowned. He did not like them to treat their feelings in such a frivolous way. But Li Mo knew that they were not malicious, so he did not say much. It was just that Li Mo's mind was troubled because of a girl other than Sun Jiaoyang, which was rare. Lin Wanting did not confess to him. He could ignore her and keep a distance from her. But Li Mo felt that it was too difficult to ignore Lin Wanting because her love for him was too obvious. Later, when Li Mo went to the toilet, Lin Wanting was still following him. It was really unbearable for Li Mo. Why did Li Mo know that the person behind him was Lin Wanting without turning around? That was because he had become familiar with her gaze. How scary was that? Li Mo was a cold person, although it made his handsome face more charming. He often dressed simply, and his black and white were classic. Li Mo was indeed a veritable flower on a high mountain. He was far more mature and calm than his peers, except when facing Sun Jiaoyang he would occasionally have a faint smile like spring flowers blooming. This kind of Li Mo was very rational. He would hardly lose his composure for anything, except when Sun Jiaoyang left him. However, at this time, Li Mo's face was very bad. He almost showed anger. "What do you want to do?" Li Mo almost gnashed his teeth at Lin Wanting. Li Mo grabbed Lin Wanting and restrained her against the wall of the corridor. Li Mo was very careful not to use too much strength. He would not hurt Lin Wanting, nor would he let himself touch her too much. Almost at the moment when Li Mo moved, 001 reacted. She instinctively wanted to throw Li Mo away. Chapter 337. Sweet little angels Lila. She still needed to work hard on the remaining 8, and follow the 2 that she had completed before. Not bad, I didn't expect you to have such a good comprehension. Keep up the good work like before. After being encouraged by the air, this made 001 even more confident in herself. The cram school emphasized a balance between work and rest, not to mention that this was indeed a special class. The students here could not just have good academic results, but also a comprehensive development. Therefore, the teacher organized an outing for the cram school. They had to bring their own materials, cooking and building sleeping tents, etc. Although 001 did not understand any common sense on Earth, the people on planet Araga already had the most powerful receiver and data processing center. Those academic problems. 001 scanned and analyzed again, and the answer came out. Therefore, 001's results were slightly better than Lin Wanting's previous results, faintly approaching Li Mo. This made Li Mo unable to help but look at her. For some reason, he suddenly thought of a sentence, turning it into the power of the broken love guard. Li Mo was not a person who liked to think too much, but Lin Wanting's recent actions could not help but make him think too much. 001 felt that he always wanted to have physical contact with the other party, and divert his attention when the other party was looking at a beautiful woman. These 2 points could be skipped directly. Because Lin Wanting was too shy, it was impossible for him to have physical contact with Li Mo, and Li Mo was not a person who looked at beautiful women. Then, 001 began to implement the 5th point. He always wanted to know the other party's secrets. She had to investigate this in secret. After all, it was impossible for Lin Wanting to ask openly. Of course. 001 felt that observation was the most effective way to gather information, just like how she had fought in the past. To understand her sweetheart, it was nothing more than his likes and habits. This was all told to 001 by the error from a Baidu search. Therefore, from the moment Li Mo stepped into the campus, 001 brazenly used her burning gaze to fall on him. As she read, she took out a notebook and pen and wrote it down. Today, it's still a white shirt and trousers. After several days of observation, 001 had discovered Li Mo's style of dressing. She wrote a note on the side. This can be used as a reference for gifts for Li Mo in the future. But 001 thought of the 10th point in the Secret Love Handbook: the gift should be close to the body. This doesn't seem to be close enough. 001 glanced at Li Mo's lower body. She immediately scanned Li Mo's body data, analyzed his model, and wrote it down. This way, it would be easier to send underwear to him in the future. Li Mo suddenly felt a chill run down his spine, but he couldn't tell why. He still felt that Lin Wanting's gaze sent chills down his spine. It was as if ever since the college entrance examinations, Lin Wanting had let go of some burden. In Li Mo's eyes, Lin Wanting was still gentle and introverted. She would not declare her love as enthusiastically and boldly as Sun Jiaoyang. However, when Li Mo thought of Lin Wanting's bright eyes staring at him, he firmly denied it with his mouth, which really made his mood a little complicated. Lin Wanting was to show that she liked him in every way, but she didn't say it with her mouth, which was the opposite of Sun Jiaoyang. Even when they were eating in the canteen, Lin Wanting sat not far away from him and stared at him. She looked at him while eating, which made Li Mo have an illusion that he was the food on her plate. Li Mo's friends didn't have time to make fun of him. Being stared at so passionately while eating, they all felt uncomfortable. 001 quickly stored all the information in her mind. She remembered all the food that Li Mo liked to eat. After the meal, Li Mo couldn't help but stop Lin Wanting. Yes, this lady never came up to talk to him. It seemed that she didn't disturb his life at all, except for her figure everywhere and her eyes on him all the time. Lin Wanting came and left quietly, but Li Mo couldn't ignore her. He couldn't bear it anymore, so he stopped her. Lin Wanting, what are you doing? Li Mo's tone became impolite. Although he had a cold temperament, he would never be rude to girls. It seemed that he was really forced by 001. I'm eating. 001 answered naturally. She didn't understand why Li Mo asked such an obvious question. Didn't he even know this? Li Mo felt helpless again. He gnashed his teeth and asked directly, "Why do you always appear beside me and stare at me all the time?" Chapter 338. Sweet little angels Leela. But no matter what she did, every single one of them caused Li Mo's face to turn red. Li Mo wished he could roll up the underwear in his hand and throw it away like a hot potato. However, he remembered that this was a gift Lin Wanting wanted to give him. In the end, he hesitated and decided to stay. But as soon as he saw it, this annoyed Li Mo, and he couldn't help but blush. However, it was so ostentatious about its existence that Li Mo couldn't ignore it. Just like Lin Wanting. It was very quiet. But it was with Li Mo that his presence was strong. 001, on the other hand, was very happy after giving away the gift. She thought that she was very considerate. Li Mo would definitely be very happy. Li Mo and Lin Wanting were different majors. But sometimes they had the same lessons. Moreover, Lin Wanting wanted to see Li Mo naturally. He had chosen the same elective course as him. 001 will not change either. In fact, Li Mo wanted to avoid Lin Wanting. He didn't want to see her just yet. Whenever he saw Lin Wanting, he would think of the underwear that he had kept at the bottom of the box and would never take out to wear in his entire life. His cheeks would turn red, but he couldn't help but feel angry at Lin Wanting. On the other hand, Lin Wanting did not feel anything as usual. He greeted Li Mo warmly. However, Li Mo faintly greeted Lin Wanting, looking very indifferent. When Xiang Hua, who was in the dormitory behind Lin Wanting, saw this, her eyes lit up. 001 didn't think there was anything wrong with Li Mo's attitude, but Sun Sun felt wronged for her. Wanting, why is he like this? Wasn't that right? The girl greeted him with such an attitude. Wasn't he just being petty and embarrassing? It would have been fine if they weren't familiar with each other, but that day, Li Mo sent her to the dormitory and even helped her clean up. It was obvious that the two of them had a close relationship. Li Mo's attitude was unreasonable. He has always been like this. 001 replied naturally. This made Sun Sun look at her with eyes full of sympathy. She made up a tens of thousands of words in her mind. 001's sad love story. 001 didn't notice it, but Xiang Hua behind them had already raised the corner of her mouth with a sneer. Liemo didn't want to see it, but 001 wouldn't let him succeed. Liemo thought that unlike high school, he and Lin Wanting would not have many interactions in college. However, it turned out that he was too naive. Lin Wanting was still the same as he was in high school, everywhere and everywhere. Of course, this didn't mean that she was like Sun Jiaoyang, chasing after him and trying to block him. He didn't know when it started, but his roommates in the dormitory started to look at Liemo in a strange way. Just like in high school, it was a publicly acknowledged secret that Lin Wanting liked Liemo. In the end, it was still the same in college. Lin Wanting had never said that she liked him, let alone publicized it. When others asked her, she would always get a negative answer. However, everyone thought that Lin Wanting didn't mean it, or that she was too shy to admit it. Because Lin Wanting's love for Liemo was too obvious, anyone with a discerning eye could see it, so it was useless for her to deny it. The new secretary department's school beauty liked the business administration school hunk. This was their tacit understanding. Liemo, he thought of the feeling of being dominated by Lin Wanting's eyes in high school. Couldn't he escape when he was in college? No, one day he actually had to use the word escape, which was quite sad in itself. In the classroom, Liemo sat in his seat, looking straight ahead, listening to the teacher's lecture carefully. It wasn't until he smelled a familiar fragrance beside him that Liemo had a feeling that it was as he expected. The person sitting next to Liemo was naturally 001. This was the basic quality of a secret admirer, and 001 had always done a good job. However, in fact, the seat next to Liemo was indeed occupied by Lin Wanting, but she didn't do it herself. In addition to 001's roommate Sun Sun, who would help her occupy that seat, there was also Liemo's roommate. It was said that it was because 001's eyes were always on Liemo, and she tried every means to get close to him and inquire about him. Such infatuation moved them. Students from other faculties also did the same, helping her to secure seats beside Liemo. Chapter 339. Cute Little Angels. Could it be that he was such a fickle and playboy man? Sun Jiaoyang had only left him not long ago, and he had already started to pay attention to other women? However, Lin Wanting's every move made him feel helpless. But there was also an indescribable feeling. Liemo really couldn't help but care about it. These things made Liemo upset. He sat down by the pool and threw stones into it. Recent events flashed before his eyes. It was like a mess, which made Liemo's mood worse and worse. Liemo simply took off his clothes and put them aside. He plunged into the water. He wanted to calm himself down. A brain that had lost its rationality and calmness was the most terrifying. Things would only get worse and worse. At this moment, 001 arrived here. When she heard the sound of the water, she increased her speed and shouted, "Liemo!" Liemo instinctively jumped out of the water splashed everywhere, and he happened to meet 001's eyes on the shore. There was a deathly silence. Liemo was completely stunned. He didn't know how to react at all. 001, on the other hand, heaved a sigh of relief. Liemo was still alive. The night wind blew over, causing Liemo's body to involuntarily shrink. Only then did he wake up. Liemo suddenly realized. What kind of state was he in now? He had no clothes on and was naked in the water. And Lin Wanting saw everything from the shore. Liemo's body was completely stiff, and so was his expression. He didn't know how to react at all. Liemo had never encountered such a difficult situation in his life. He even felt that he was very stupid to be entangled in those things just now. Compared to this, what did it count as? 001 doesn't know what Liemo is thinking. She looks at him motionless in the water. She watched him not move in the water. 001 smiled gently and said, "Liemo, I'll pull you up." Liemo turned his head around like a robot, making creaking sounds. Liemo's eyes widened uncontrollably as if he was startled. This kind of expression had never appeared on Liemo's face, which was really an eye-opener. But upon closer inspection, this added a childish air to Liemo's body, making him look rather cute. Why was she just standing there and watching? Could it be that she was not frightened and would not scream in panic? Surprisingly, Lin Wanting did not turn her back. She even stretched out her hand to pull him up with a calm expression. Could it be that he was making a fuss out of nothing? When a girl sees a naked man, it's not a big deal anymore. Li Mo's mind was in a mess. He was confused by 001's actions. However, for the people of planet Araga, they did not need clothes in their form, so they did not feel anything when Li Mo exposed himself. 001 frowned slightly. But why hadn't Li Mo acted yet? The creatures on Earth were so fragile. If he stayed in the water for a long time, his body would not be well. Just as 001 was about to bend down to catch Li Missouri, the sound of footsteps and laughter came from the other side of the forest. 001 curiously turned her head to look at Li Mo. At this time, Li Mo finally moved. He grabbed 001's hand and dragged her into the water. There was only one thought in Li Mo's mind at that time. He must not let them see this. Otherwise, they would not be able to explain themselves. Li Mo dragged 001 over, held her body in his arms, and took her to hide behind a big rock. However, Li Mo realized that he had made a stupid decision. Because he was not wearing anything, but he was pressed tightly against the warm and fragrant soft jade in his arms. In this chilly night wind and ice-cold pond water, the soft and smooth body in his arms was the only warmth he had. Hugging Lin Wanting tighter was the human instinct to absorb heat, but this made Li Mo feel Lin Wanting's body more deeply. Especially when Li Mo's big hand covered Lin Wanting's small mouth, he felt her hot breath in his palm and her delicate and soft lips. This caused Li Mo's heart to involuntarily feel strange, like shallow ripples on the surface of a lake. Li Mo's hand trembled uncontrollably. He put himself in a more awkward situation, but now he was really in a difficult position. 001 did not resist in Li Mo's arms. She felt inexplicable about his series of actions, and she had no idea what he wanted to do. And the people who came were a man and a woman. They were not classmates, but a young couple. Instead of sleeping in the middle of the night, the young couple came to this place. Was there a need to say what they were doing? Sure enough, the young couple did not say much and went straight to the point. Soon, there was a flirtatious sound in the woods. Li Mo. The skin covered by his hand and the place where his body was pressed against Lin Wanting became hot. Li Mo had never been so embarrassed in his life. If he could go back in time, Li Mo would definitely not come here at night without sleeping. Even if he came here, he would not go down to take a bath, let alone pull Lin Wanting into the water. But there was no medicine for regret in this world. However, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Even if he wanted to dig a hole and hide in it, Li Mo had to face it bravely. What was more embarrassing than watching a love action movie with a girl? You were naked and the girl was wet. What was worse was that the two of you were pressed against each other. Even if Li Mo had no desire for Lin Wanting, he could not go against a man's instinct. Moreover, it was easy to arouse desire at night, and there was the excitement of a wild fight in the woods. As the sound in his ears grew louder and louder, their movements became more and more intense. Feeling Lin Wanting in his arms, Li Mo could not help but breathe faster. He was very glad that Lin Wanting was completely blocked. She could not see the situation on the other side, but she could hear it. This made the atmosphere between the two of them even more ambiguous, until Li Mo's body reacted. Li Mo was completely stiff, and he did not dare to look at 001 at all. However, his body seemed to be consciously rubbing 001, looking for the most comfortable way for himself. However, after the physical pleasure, he was faced with the torture of the soul. Such a combination of ice and fire really made Li Mo have an indescribable feeling. Since the two people came in, 001 has been secretly watching their actions. That's right, a live broadcast of the two of them. It turns out that this is the reproduction of creatures on the Earth. The information has been collected. In the eyes of 001, this was just a normal human instinct. She did not feel anything else. She did not know all the complex psychological and physiological reactions of Li Mo. Until 001 felt something behind him. 001 had analyzed it from the image just now. It was a male reproductive organ. This meant that the male wanted to go in and reproduce the next generation, but obviously, Lee Mo could not be here. 001 also understood that if it was not solved, it would damage the health of the Earth's males. The two people over there finally came to an end. They stopped and left in a hurry. 001 turned to look at Lee Mo and asked, "Are you okay?" Lee Mo, since the two people left, Lee Mo relaxed his body a little, and his body felt weak. But in fact, Lee Mo's forehead was full of sweat, and it seemed that he was having a hard time holding back. The places that had hardened before did not soften at all. Lee Mo was very ashamed of his subconscious action of stroking Lin Wanting, although he could not forget that feeling. However, it was suddenly exposed by Lin Wanting, and blood rushed to Lee Mo's head. Lee Mo felt that the face in his life was completely lost in front of Lin Wanting. Lee Mo was silent. He did not know what he should say to Lin Wanting. 001 thought that she should help him. Was he embarrassed to ask? However, before 001 could speak, Lee Mo's eyes landed on her, and he quickly looked away as if he had been scalded by her. 001's clothes were all wet and stuck to her body. It was faintly discernible and fatally tempting. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.